Man, I still feel really shaken up. You guys can't tell, but I recorded this, or I'm recording this back to back from the Until Dawn review, and man, I really don't like that movie. I feel shaken up just thinking about it, but that's okay, because now we get to talk about something that I do enjoy, which is the Mother series, specifically Mother 1. Now, just like me, probably a good few weeks ago, you may be thinking, why on earth would I even have a remote interest in playing Mother 1 in the year of our Lord 2025? And to that I say, you're kind of missing out, kinda. I'd recommend a lot of stuff to play it, but I recently did a playthrough of the entire Mother series with some friends off stream, and I had a really good time. Mother 1 has a lot of charm that I think even Earthbound lacks, and I know that is 1,000,000% a very unpopular opinion, but I really do feel comfortable enough in saying that Mother 1 is an underrated classic. Not to mention, I have no idea how they managed to pack the NES game with so much stuff. So here's a brief synopsis of Mother 1 or Earthbound Beginnings for those of you who haven't played it. Aliens are invading, kinda. It's Geek, which I think is just I don't know if that's what they called Gygus in Mother 1 specifically, or if that was the Japanese name. I played the games, I can tell you that much. Anyway, Geek / Gygus, but we'll just call him Geek, because it's Mother 1, is invading. He has a bone to pick with Earth, so you wake up as a young boy named Ninten, which is a shameless product placement for Nintendo, and your home is invaded by poltergeists, so you gotta go figure that out. Then you gotta go to the zoo, and then you gotta go to a town that's only has children because all the adults got kidnapped, and you gotta go meet Lloyd and get the key from the janitor, and then it kind of becomes Earthbound. You go around, and your sole goal is to collect all the different melodies to sing to the Queen of Magicant. And what's interesting about Mother 1 is it actually starts with a wall of text, basically about your grandparents, and how... I don't remember their names, so I was gonna say George and Maria, but I don't know if that's actually right. But basically, your grandparents got abducted by aliens, your grandmother raised Geeg, your grandfather stole some alien tech and then left, or alien secrets and then left. I think it was secrets, actually. And that's it. Then the game begins. And Mother 1 is a really good game with really good dialogue and just a lot of quirky, fun encounters. Now, granted, the version I played, I don't think it was the Beginnings one. I think it was the Mother 1, but in English, but not the one where they changed certain events. And I would recommend you use cheats for it. There's a lot of random encounters, and buddy, those aren't very fun. They are not fun in the slightest, especially since running away only has like a 50% chance. So I would implore you to use a cheat to like level up really, really high so they don't affect you as much. Additionally, if you are going to play the game, any dungeon at all, especially the second factory, you need to use a guide. You have to use a guide to figure out where to go. Those factories are so sprawling and massive. I could make it like multiple videos alone just on how poor the design is of those. And that's kind of the thing about Mother 1. It's not really made as like a game. It's like an adventure. It's just the dungeon design, unfortunately, is very much representative of the time, which is a little less than ideal. But Mother 1 is really weird to me because nobody ever talks about it. Everybody talks about Earthbound. Everybody talks about your mother. Nobody talks about Mother 1. And when people say the best in the series, they say it's Mother 3. And granted, they are correct. And I'm saying this as somebody who thinks Mother 3 is vastly better than Mother 1 and 2. I very much prefer Mother 3, I think, to all the other entries in the series. But that doesn't mean Mother 1 isn't good. Mother 1 is really good. I'd argue it's maybe even better than Earthbound if it wasn't so like bogged down with technical limitations. it's a fun adventure, and there's a weird sense of like innocence throughout the game that I kind of feel like, I guess all the games have it really, but I don't know. It's very strong in Mother 1. I mean, everybody knows the song that's playing in the background. I couldn't think of another Mother song to loop the entire time, and this was the first result when I was looking for background music. Normally we stick with royalty-free jazz, but I feel like the subject matter is really important. Now, I will say, you can't call yourself a Mother series fan if you don't at least play Mother 1 or just like watch a playthrough once. You're really doing a disservice to yourself. I think the game is probably one of the funniest in the series. I think it's funnier than Earthbound, but it's been a minute since I've touched Mother 3, so I don't know. Man, it's such a fun story. I think it's really quirky, and I do think Earthbound has infinitely better combat and infinitely better ease of use, right? But I really think that Mother 1 just has some weird sense of creativity that isn't nearly as present in the other games. I really think it all just works. There's some moments that are like, hey, hold up, what's going on? But I think Mother 3 and Earthbound have plenty of those too, you know? And I'm thrilled that the West got Mother 1. I really feel like we would have missed out if we didn't get this game. I will say this about Mother 1. Do you guys remember Magicant from Earthbound? I think the Magicant in Mother 1 is infinitely better. I think it is a way better expression of like imagination. It's a cooler area. I like all the stuff there. I like the overall journey more and the different melodies you discover. I really mess with it. And even though Mother 1 has a lot of dated problems, it also comes with the strongest companion in the series. And it also has such benefits as starting a lot of trends in Mother games, like people in green jars, music, God, I'm sure there's more. I'm sure there's plenty. Oh, how about final boss fights where you don't actually fight? That's a good one. That's probably my least favorite trend in the series, honestly. But that's okay. That's all good. So, Mother 1 is a really fantastic story. The characters are really well written, too. It feels a little silly because nothing with it, like, exactly clicks at first. It feels real awkward and clunky to control initially, but there is some sort of undeniable charm that's present throughout the entire game. I really think the soundtrack is one of the strong points. I think the towns and the navigation, even with the game being like very dated, I didn't really need a guide to figure out what to do. For the dungeons, you will need a guide. The dungeons are massive. They're unfun. They're just giant empty rooms where you run into random encounters over and over. Those are awful. I hate to make the game sound bad, but genuinely, I really think those dungeons are just unbearably like boring. I cannot stand them. But I don't know. I think Ninten is a pretty cool protagonist. I don't really know how I feel, because looking back on Mother 1 and Mother 2, I find it weird that in a trilogy, basically, the gangs are copy and paste of each other in Mother 1 and Mother 2. That isn't true. That is a very, like, gross dramatization or whatever. That's me misspeaking and throwing shade to people. I know very well that's not, like, objectively correct, but I don't know, it certainly feels correct sometimes. But I think Mother 1 has a really strong story, like, incredibly strong. Ninten's adventure to collecting the melodies, and with how everything unravels in Magicant right up to the finale, is really nice. I really enjoy that. I think some of the melodies are kind of obscure. You could very easily not get many of them, which is unfortunate. Specifically, the one in the zoo comes to mind, but I really think the game stands enough on its own merits, and a lot of this stuff is, you can tell it was like the first game of the series. They were just trying stuff out, and it's a good game. I would really recommend playing Mother 1. I think it's better than Earthbound in a lot of ways, mainly the writing. Not to say Earthbound is bad. As the angry video game nerd said, if God had a favorite game, it'd probably be Earthbound, and he very well might be correct. But I still think Mother 1 just has so much good to present to the table. I think it really has a lot to offer, specifically for anybody who's ever been into any of these types of games. Like, I guess any in the Mother series, or Earthbound, or not Earthbound, what's it called? Undertale, anything along those lines. I really think Mother 1 has something special for you. It's quirky, it's funny, it's a pretty good story. And it's a nice bedrock and foundation. And I think I prefer Guy to Gygas in Earthbound. I don't know. I do think his fight kind of sucks, and he gets like 3 lines of dialogue, so I don't know, maybe not, but like there's a lot of things where if I stop and think about the game, I kind of think, oh, I don't really care, or I don't really think that's that great or well written. But it's Mother. You're not supposed to put everything under a microscopic lens to figure everything out, you know? You're here for like the whimsy and the adventure of it. And I really think Mother 1 does that really, really well. So I would highly implore you to play it. I don't know if there's anything else I'd really have to say about it, because I think the story's good. That's why I really try not to spoil stuff most of the time, unless I guess I put in like the title or something, I don't know. I really try not to spoil what I talk about. But Mother 1, I think the less you know, the better. And I think it's a really fun adventure, probably once you get like a fourth of the way through it. Or maybe, I don't know, once you do the graveyard, everything is good there. But it's pretty alright. It's fun seeing the cynical takes on adults, and God, there's this one conversation with a janitor in one of the elementary schools, and it's so funny, dude. It's so funny. He just goes on this huge rant, like, I hate my wife. She's the worst. I hate my wife with a passion. And then he asks you, yeah, what do you think of my wife? Isn't she just the worst? And if you say yes, he says, don't you talk about my wife that way. I don't know. There's a lot of, like, really weird, silly moments, and the story feels very unpredictable at times, which is nice. I still think Earthbound probably does a better job with, like, randomness in the stories, you know? But I really think Mother 1 just has something special that Earthbound didn't quite collect, you know? I don't really know what I'd call it, but it's just a really special game, and you should play Mother 1 if you've played any of the other games, and just use cheats if you have to. I don't think it makes that much of a difference. And if you're going to use anything, I recommend using a map for any dungeon at all in the game. But that's all I got. That was the other thing I checked out recently. I did kind of lie with not playing Mother 3 recently, earlier in the video. I just don't really remember anything that funny from it, but it's been a little bit. But I like Mother 3. And I guess I'll talk about Mother 3 and Mother 2/Earthbound probably in one of these videos, and it'll probably already be up by the time you guys see this, so that's all good. Anyway, I'll catch you later. I don't know, I don't have an outro still, but you should seriously check out Mother 1. That's it.